to help them break ground on a cold case that dates back nearly 2 decades. Now, this is the sketch of a man found in the same vicinity as the Gilgo Beach murders tied to Rex Heuermann. And while this victim is not currently tied to the alleged serial killer, police are asking for the public's help to find out exactly who this person is and who's responsible for his death. Long Island reporter Shantae Lands live this afternoon in Brentwood in Suffolk County with more. Shantae?
Well, Sandra, aside from those new sketches, new details are coming out about how that person may have died. District Attorney Ray Tierney here in Suffolk County asking for your help and the overall public's help to identify this victim. I want to get you back to those sketches. These are the clearest images of that person that was killed and what they look like. Investigators with the Gilgo Beach Task Force say he was a biological male of Asian descent. They think he was between the age of 17 and 23 years old and was about 5'6". They also believe he could have been transgender and dressed like a woman because investigators say he was wearing women's pants and a bra at the time he was found. Those sketches were created by a forensic anthropologist through the use of the victim's skull. The victim's body was found on Ocean Parkway near Gilgo Beach in April of 2011, but detectives believed he was killed earlier, around 2006. The DA saying his body was found 300 yards from the victim, Megan Waterman. The task force used generic genealogy to learn more about the specific ethnicity. In fact, the victim was of Southern Chinese descent, specifically Han Chinese. Also, for the first time today, District Attorney Ray Tierney giving new details on how that male victim may have died.
Unfortunately, this victim suffered a violent death. The cause of death was homicide by blunt force trauma. We know the death occurred during or prior to 2006, and that those remains were on Ocean Beach for at least 5 years before being discovered in 2011.
The DA confirming that investigators have some DNA from that victim, but they don't have enough evidence right now to positively name a suspect. Live in Brentwood, Shantae Lands, Channel 7.
Welcome back to Morbid Sunshine. I will read you a document. I recently was looking up updates and realised that Asian male doe has been modified and put into a different. It looks like a different face completely, really. Let's read what they have to say. Long Island, New York investigators have released new sketches and details connection to the Gilgo Beach victim and are asking for the public's help to identify them. Although there have been an arrest in Gilgo Beach serial killings, investigators are still trying to piece together the cold case murders. On Monday, Suffolk County District Attorney Ray Tierney released 3 new updated sketches of the Gilgo Beach victim. Asian male victim's remains were discovered along Ocean Parkway on April 10, 2011. However, authorities say he was killed during the prior to 2006. His body was found 300 yards from victim Megan Waterman. Previously released sketch of Asian male victim, which looks considerably different, very much different compared to what we have now. He looks more Korean, you know. Tierney said the biological male was believed to be between 17 and 23 and about 5'6" in height. He was a teenager or a very young adult when the murder occurred. Tierney said the victim suffered a violent death. They were killed by a blunt force trauma, the examiner determined. They start at the skull and then, using characteristics of the skull, they create a diagram of the individual. So we believe this to be is the most accurate depiction of the victim to date. Another new detail released of the victim was wearing exclusively women's clothing. That had led investigators to believe that the victim, identified as a woman, friends may have known this person as a woman, and that they worked as our sex worker. Investigators said the body was found in women's pants and bra. The victim was Southern Chinese in descent, specifically Han Chinese. This person had a name. This person had family. This person had friends, Tyranny said. In an effort to encourage members of the Asian community who might have information to come forward, investigators arranged for a New York State trooper to deliver up-to-date details about his case in Mandarin. The rendering created by studying the recovered remains. I'll say that again. The rendering created by studying the recovered remains is what anthropologists believed the unidentified subject, long described as an Asian male, who have looked alike. The goal is to learn more about the victim, including his identity. Authorities did not announce any new charges against Rex Human, the architect and father who has pleaded not guilty to 6 women. I believe he's up on the 16th of October. Investigators found 10 other bodies in the search of missing sex worker Shannon Gilbert in the stretch of ocean along Island's South Shore. Hume was first charged with the deaths of women known as Gilgo 4, Shannon Bartholomew, Megan Waterman, Maureen Brainerd Barnes, and Amber Costello, whose bodies were found covered in burlap in December of 2010, according to court records. Earlier this year, investigators started. I'll look up burlap now as well, while we're on it. Human with the murders of 2 more women. In 2003, the murder of Jessica Taylor, whose remains were found also on Ocean Beach and Manorville. In 1993, the murder of Sandra Costello's remains on North Sea and Long Island. Human had pleaded not guilty for their murders. Burlap.
According to Merriam-Webster, 1. A coarse heavy plain woven fabric usually of jute or hemp used for bagging and wrapping and in furniture and linoleum manufacture. 2. A lightweight material resembling burlap used in interior decoration or for clothing.
See, I was thinking of burlap as in the sexual thing. He likes hemp then, he likes natural things, That would be the type of stuff they were wrapped in, soaks up blood probably well. He's into BDSM in a big way. It's the feel of the skin underneath the burlap as well. It's quite a fetish to have, I suppose. Okay. So it's quite burlap concrete. Oh, I see. You could just roll it out and roll them in. Like, better than carpet, isn't it? And throw them in the back with like, you well plan this. You well plan these things. We would have looked at that using concrete a lot. You know? I'd be checking the places he's been at. You know? Can we get back onto the is talking about his uncle, his paedophile uncle soon, and be looking through the article, Murder Inc. article, and maybe perhaps some more articles. Let's have a look while I'm here. Looks harmless, doesn't he? His uncle. Look into my documents, my videos, and find out what a sick man he really is. And, you know, it doesn't surprise me at all what type of person Rex Human is. No, I don't know. Don't think that's any relative of this. That's the podcast we listen to. It's on my videos. Let's see what his classmates said about him. I think I read this one. Classmate described Gilgo Beach suspect as troubled school days. Former classmates say accused serial killer charged in the deaths of 3 women associated with Gilgo Beach murders. This must have been nearly one. Was an isolated teenager who was picked on in school and was known for lashing out at those who targeted him. Rex Human, 59, was arrested on the 13th of July and has since pleaded not guilty to the charges against him. Authorities say he considered the prime suspect and the 4th woman. Investigators still seeking answers, blah, 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 blah. No, we know this now. On Friday, Tuesday, reported on Berna High School contemporaries' experiences and impressions of a human in their youth, and the classmates graduated 2 grades behind the alleged serial killer and recalled him as having endured a hard time at school in Massapequa, New York. John Parisi said Human was everybody's punching bag, adding that he never quite fell into one of those school cliques. He got picked on a lot, Parisi said. Put in high school, Human got bigger and others took note. I was really scared of him. He was the type of guy, if he snapped, he could really hurt you, Parisi said. He was disillusioned and he was misguided. You had to be very careful. Wow. Others expressed disbelief when they found out Human had been accused of the slayings. It's a shock. We knew him, Michael said. He was nerdy, smart. Others, in the contrast, weren't even remotely shocked. Don Orfels, who went to kindergarten with Human and continued to be his classmate through to 12th grade, said he was not quite surprised at all. He said, "Oh my God, it fits perfectly. That's the weird guy," Orfels told the Times, describing Hume as a recluse who barely spoke. Dan Musto, who says he knew Hume growing up, said it was also well known that Hume was given a hard time by his father, Ted, and that Hume was caught after shoplifting spree. Why is he getting in trouble? He's fighting with his dad, Musto said. It was common knowledge Hume was 12 in 1975 when his father died. With his mother, Dolores, left to raise Hume and his 4 siblings. Another person who grew up near Hume's home said he lacked the social skills to hold a conversation, and that it was known that Hume would fight back if he was antagonized to certain points. He had a mean streak in him, John Dale Macaulay said. One of Hume's neighbours also said they only had a few conversations, but he once had to tell Hume to stop leering at his wife over a backyard fence. De Lavella said that Hume's daughter Victoria now got a license. He wanted to tell her, just get in your car and drive and never come back. On Thursday, Hume's wife Asa Ellerup and the son Christopher were seen by local news crews returning to family home following a 12-day police search into the property. During search, Long Island police found a vault on the property containing guns, and an attorney for Ellerup confirmed last week that she has filed for divorce. Prosecution case and called the DNA evidence collected so far very powerful. Hume faces charges for first and second degree murder in their connections with the deaths of On August 21st in 2019, a Tall Child Victim Act case was filed by RW, represented by Bonner, Adam Cabral, Bonner and Charles Adams, and Raider and Jesse Paul, against Doe's John and estate of Edward Rising Estate and Luther Mayer, represented by Callahan, Janet Edwards and James. I won't be going, I shouldn't have said that. RW Kenneth C. Human, estate of Edward Rising and estates of Luther Mayer, upstate New York, St. Evangelical Lutheran Church of America, St. Michael's Church. And this is the church that Kenneth Human, Rex Human's uncle, is connected to. Okay? This case is very strange that this and him, no, it's, he's into children, and Rex Human, there's quite a few documents I'm going to read. You might have to pay for these. I might subscribe to these. I'm giving you all my details, I'm going.
Even though there's been an arrest in the Gilgo Beach serial killings, investigators are still trying to solve the cold case murders that so far aren't tied to the suspect. On Monday, we're expecting to learn new information about a victim. Suffolk County prosecutors will also provide updates on their ongoing investigations. And they're asking you for help. They're not expected to announce any new charges against Rex Huerman, that architect who has already pleaded not guilty to 6 murders.
Manhole.
Even though Rex Human has been arrested for the Gilgo Beach serial killings, investigators are still trying to solve cold cases, murders that are so far are not tied to the suspect. On Monday, there is expected to be a new information about a victim. Suffolk County prosecutors will also provide updates on their ongoing investigations and ask public for help. They are not expected to announce any charges against the architect at this time. Yes, everyone seems to be quiet with the charges so far. There's no charges to be had at the moment. No news to report. But these things will take a lot of time to prove all this in court. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and keep tuned and take care. Bye.